Losing my job at 54 hurt. I grieved. I questioned who I was without it. I worried about money. But 6 months later, I realized something I almost don't feel comfortable admitting. The biggest thing the layoff took from me had actually disappeared years earlier. I have talked before about the grief that comes from losing a job in your 50s, and every word of that was true. But this video is about something different. There's one part of this experience that nobody seems to talk about. What if losing your job accidentally gives you your life back? Because maybe getting laid off didn't end your growth. Maybe it jump started it. Maybe somewhere along the way, without even noticing, you stopped being challenged, stopped growing, stopped being lit up by the work. Because that's what I've realized. And it's completely changed the way I think about this accidental retirement. If you're new here, I'm Carrie, and I'm retired by accident. I was really good at my job. Do we all say that? But I was good. I mean, recognition from clients, from professional organizations, and my community good. And for a long time, that was enough. And the change from engaged professional to bored employee didn't happen all at once. I spent years working my way up that ladder, more responsibility, more hours, more stress, more nights where I couldn't sleep because of something work related. That climb felt like growth at that time in my life, and it probably was. Then the company restructured. Some of that was the aftermath of COVID and all of that government mandated, let's just call it chaos that came with it. And some of it, honestly, was just bad decisions from leadership. After all of that chaos played out and 9 months of job hunting, I wasn't in one job anymore. I was piecing together two part time gigs just to get enough hours. One was a contract position and one was direct employment. Laid off after 50 and rebuilding my life out of two part time jobs. That's the reality, not the highlight reel version. And frankly, as a lot of you know, because you're there too, I was fortunate to be even able to find that. And both of those jobs were serious step downs in responsibility from where I had been. Then one of those two gigs went away and I was down to just a single part time job. And I'm going to be totally, completely, 100% honest. That transition, once I really accepted it as my new state of existence, came as a reprieve. Less stress, more time for the rest of life, fewer sleepless nights. I want to be honest about that part. Once I came to accept that the type of corporate life that I had before was just not going to come back, and really accepted that it was okay to not make as much money, it felt like relief. But the work itself that I had taken on was, well, it was routine. There was no challenge in it. Frankly, it was a waste of my skills. But under the circumstances, it was the work that there was. Remember, I live very remotely. I don't have all the opportunities here that exist in even medium sized towns. So, anyway, somewhere in that whole sequence, the climb, the restructuring, the 2 gig scramble, the step downs, the relief, I kind of stopped growing, not because I got lazy. Well, maybe I did some, I'll own that, but mostly because that the ladder that I'd been climbing for years got dismantled out from under me. And what was left over wasn't built to challenge anyone. I didn't let myself think about that too hard while I was employed in those two very rote part time jobs. Because what were my options at that point? Even a part time gig with no growth in it still paid, and frankly, pretty well. I still had a title that made sense to people and that justified the years of education and the background. I could still impress people at cocktail parties with my professional credentials, as if I ever went to cocktail parties, if that's even a thing. I don't know. Anyway, you don't walk away from a good paycheck in your 50s just because you're bored and worn down. So I stayed, and I got more bored. And I told myself that that was just what work felt like at this stage of life. I told myself it was a good thing, that I could just coast through on easy mode until I decided to retire. Well, I was wrong. I never got to decide to retire. That decision got made for me. That last part time gig, it ended too. And I found myself unemployed again at 54. And those first few weeks after the layoff were disorienting in exactly the ways I described in my identity crisis video. The grief was real and the loss was real. Even though I was really lucky, my husband had enough income for us to get by, and health insurance wasn't going to be an issue. Even though I didn't have to panic about how to acquire the necessities, that transition chaos was still completely disorienting. But then something unexpected started to happen. I started this YouTube channel. And as you already know, if you've been following along, I did it really to distract from the grief and the loss and the chaos because I knew that sitting on this couch and spending all day watching YouTube and wallowing was not going to be good for my mental health. And I really could have just done that. But starting the channel meant I had to learn thumbnail design. Heck, I had to learn what a thumbnail even was. I had to learn video editing and content strategy and SEO and affiliate marketing and audience psychology all at once with no training and no background. And I realized that I was completely absorbed. I was staying up too late researching. I was waking up thinking about ideas. And I was seriously excited about what I was learning. When was the last time that work made me feel like that? Honestly, I couldn't remember. And here's what I think happened, and maybe this will resonate with you. When we are in our 20s and our 30s, work is challenging almost by default. Everything is new, and we are learning constantly and climbing and figuring it out. But eventually, you master it, and mastery is wonderful until it becomes autopilot. Honestly, this is why I went back to school in my 40s and got another degree. I felt that I had done everything there was to do in my field, literally nothing left to learn, at least not without going in directions that really did not interest me. So I went back to school to upgrade, so to speak. And that really did excite things for a while, but eventually I ended up in another autopilot role. And autopilot was comfortable. It paid the bills, it gave me structure, an identity, and a reason to get up in the morning. And in my 50s, I started to see autopilot as the reward for the hard work that I'd put in when I was younger. It was just my turn to coast. So the layoff didn't just take my job, it took the thing that I've been hiding behind. If any of this feels familiar to you, subscribe now. I'm still in the middle of this, figuring this all out. And more than that, it pushed me to do something different in a way that I was absolutely never going to do without that push. Now, I'm learning things every single week that I didn't know the week before. I'm solving problems that I've never faced before and getting them wrong sometimes and just figuring it out. And I feel more like myself than I have in years. So, this is not me saying the layoff was a gift. That may be a bridge too far. The layoff was chaos and loss and grief. And if I'm totally honest, a bit of embarrassment too, frankly. But maybe I am saying that the layoff came bearing some gifts. I didn't expect that, probably because I've never heard anyone else saying it. Maybe that's because acknowledging the gifts that come from something painful kind of feels disloyal to the grief, to what we're supposed to say about having something stolen from you. Like you're not allowed to admit that something good came out of something bad. Well, you are allowed. I am allowed. And this realization didn't just change how I think, it's changed how I live day to day. And there's another part to this that I didn't realize how much I would appreciate. It's not only that I'm more challenged, it's also that I have my time back. This YouTube stuff, it's not 9 to 5 with a schedule someone else owns. So when we decided to drive across the country for my daughter's wedding in Orlando, I didn't have to ask anyone for time off. We just went. And I'm boogie boarding more this year than I have in many years. Not because I suddenly have more interest in it. I always loved it. In fact, I love my boogie board more than any woman should probably be allowed, which is kind of ridiculous, but it's true. I just finally have the time and I can go on a random Tuesday and stay as long as I want. And for my family, I can just show up when it matters. None of that pays the bills by itself. I get that. But we almost never talk about the time side of a layoff. We talk about the money side and the crisis side. And the time side has completely changed how I live. And not because it was handed to me, but because I stopped spending it in panic. I actually started writing the script months ago, but I wasn't ready to record it yet. Back then, my theory was maybe losing a job I'd outgrown freed something in me. But at that point, it was just a feeling. I didn't really have any proof for my theory, just the feeling. But I do now. I built something from absolutely nothing. No audience and no idea what I was doing. And it's working. It's around 6 months now since starting this channel, and I've hit over 7,000 subscribers. And it's even generating some income. And that's the part that gets me, not the monetization or the subscriber count itself, but the fact that I was capable of this the whole time. And I never would have found out if I'd stayed comfortable. Over 7,000 people have, for some reason, decided that my voice is worth a few minutes of their time. That's not nothing. That's something built by someone who, when she first started this endeavor, didn't even know what a thumbnail was. And the strange part is, I think I had forgotten that I had this in me. And the truth is that none of this happened to me. At some point in there, I made an actual decision, a decision that I was not going to go look for another job like the ones I'd had, not to go back to an employer and back to corporate. I chose this instead. And that's very different from the layoff itself, which I didn't choose. But what came after that phone call telling me to send in my laptop, that part was on me. If you're in this with me, laid off, forced into an early retirement, or some other type of transition, trying to figure out what comes next, I want to ask you something. Before this happened, honestly, were you challenged? Were you growing? Were you excited to go to work most days? Or had you been on autopilot for a while too? Because if the answer is the second one, and I bet for a lot of us it is, then maybe the layoff didn't just take something from you. Maybe it also came bearing something we don't usually see from it at first: freedom. The question is, what do you do with that freedom? I still don't have this all figured out. I'm not handing you a blueprint because your situation is not my situation. But I can tell you this: the version of me who wrote this script months ago was hoping. The version of me filming it now has the receipts. If this video resonated with you, I would love to hear your story in the comments. And if you're navigating forced early retirement, layoffs, or trying to build a meaningful next chapter, I would love to have you along for the journey. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe so you can follow along. I'll see you next time.